Bungle. Hope you're doing well, and I hope you're having a great day. Today, we are going over Enlisted, the free-to-play first-person shooter, much requested, much talked about. Hey, Bungle, talk about a T-28. This can include the campaign level that you unlock at level 22, and also the gold order if you're curious, and picking up a fully maxed out T-28 that you can equip and use out of the box once you hit level 22 and the Battle of Moscow for Russia. Now, kind of what we do here on this channel, if you're a new viewer, possibly a new subscriber, well, maybe you're wondering, Bungle, what do you do here? Well, pretty much give you an overview, kind of telling you what are we talking about, what are we reviewing today. Next, I talk about the performance. Is it good? Is it bad? And lastly, is it worth it? Starting off with an overview. All right, so this is a medium tank. And Enlisted, there are various types of tanks. You have your light tanks, your medium tanks, your heavy tanks, and your tank destroyers. This is a medium tank. What T-28 does, moving down to its performance, is that it has the capabilities of engaging enemy infantry as well as dealing with enemy tanks. But this is kind of important to know, where this is going to be a big difference from the T-28E compared to this. The T-28 is the shell types. You have the shrapnel round and you have high explosive. Another thing that the tank brings to the table is that you have turreted machine guns. So you have three 7.62 millimeter machine guns. Now moving back to the primary armament, which is its 76 millimeter gun. We're talking about the shell types here, shrapnel and HE. HE, of course, high explosive, you're going to use against enemy infantry, right? If there's a bunch of enemy infantry out in the open and you have a clear shot, you fire it and you could get, a bunch of mass casualty. Moving down to, is it worth it? This is where it distinguishes itself differently from other tanks in the game, like the T-50, whereas if you notice with T-50s and the BT-7s and such, they carry that 45 millimeter cannon. The 45 millimeter cannon, against infantry, to be honest, it's not that good. You notice with a 45 millimeter gun, especially against, let's say, Panzer IVs and Panzer IIIJs, that has a capability of penetrating. The problem with this 76 millimeter gun, since it's kind of a short barreled and has shrapnel round, is that shrapnel round is going to be able to penetrate Panzer IIs. But when you face other vehicles, let's say early Panzer IIIs, you'll be able to penetrate them because they're not that lightly armored. But as you move down to, let's say, a Panzer IV, even a Panzer IIIJ, you're going to struggle. You will not penetrate because the shell, the shrapnel round, isn't meant to go through kind of armored vehicles. So as a result, it struggles. And usually if you're playing against a team of players on the Germany side that have experience and have a Panzer IV or the premium one unlocked, or a Panzer IIIJ, you're going to have a rough time because the T-28, its armor is okay. The armor does well against Panzer IIs and early Panzer IIIs. Now, when you face Panzer IVs and you face Panzer IIIJs, that's where you run into a problem. It's good against infantry, great at taking infantry out, but it's also a big vehicle. It's like a bus you're driving around the battlefield. So as a result, you're prone to getting demo packed, taken out pretty easily. The armor does not do well against Panzer IVs. They go right through your armor like butter, and same with Panzer IIIJs. So as a result, it is an upgrade for being an anti-infantry vehicle, which pretty much most of your time in a tank, you're gonna face infantry. Sometimes the enemy team will have Panzers out there and stuff like that, but for my time of playing different campaigns and Enlisted, depending on the campaign mode, I would say most of the time playing a tank, you're gonna be dealing with infantry. So moving back to, is it worth it? In my opinion, it's definitely a very fun vehicle to play. There are some drawbacks, of course, with later game vehicles it's struggling against, as well as kind of pay-to-win vehicles like the Panzer IV-E, but as a result, I would definitely use this in my lineup as I'm grinding towards the T-28E. Once I unlock the T-28E, I'll be able to compare it, and from what my understanding is from the T-28E, is that it replaces that shrapnel round with an armor-piercing high-explosive round, which basically, if you played the T-34-85 and the Battle of Berlin campaign, you've noticed how you nuke Panzer IVJs, even Panthers and stuff like that. Well, that shell is pretty much going to perform the same way, and I imagine it tearing apart Panzer IVs and Panzer IIIJs. Also, the T-28E, with its E designation, also is an up-armored vehicle, so the survivability is going to increase as well. Other than that, if you reach this point in the video, new viewer, possibly new subscriber, will hope today is the day that I earn your subscription. Have your sub and mash that like button. It does help me with the YouTube algorithm. Returning sub, returning viewer, let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. Other than that, I hope you all have a great day. Take care.